And we're live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. And I can actually confirm that now because it's popped up on my other screen. Awesome. We're in creative mode. We're not on Hermitcraft. We're in a creative world. I realised, yeah, look. Cheaty coal! It's not cheaty diamonds, but I can find some cheaty coal. Aha. So I've taken a bit of the Hermitcraft backup, just thrown it over here. I was working on building a industrial sort of new look for this build palette. Also worked a bit on a potential shape for this industrial building, and the place it's going to go is probably just around here, as it's going to link up with this building is the idea. So what I want to do is probably preserve what we currently got. I was chatting with Sky, he gave me some great tips about approaching building, and what I need to do is think a little bit more iteratively, so we continuously create copies of what we got. Now, building what I want to build directly in the space where it is here is probably not the best idea. So we're gonna sort of move off over in that direction, above the ocean. So we shall copy and then paste over here, where we've got plenty of space. Aha. There it is. And I had an idea just a moment ago when I was staring at this, thinking about how we could get started here. Anyway, there's lots of people saying hello in chat, so welcome everyone. Hope y'all are doing well. I was thinking this right here might look good going up through this space. So obviously we're introducing new blocks to the palette to kind of give it an industrial look. The thing is, the sandstone and colourful combination that I've got isn't like particularly industrial to begin with, so we really need to find something that works, and I think the bricks and the andesite might be the way to go. Now this little bit over here I didn't like. I think I need to change the roof designs. This isn't an industrial roof design, so I kind of want to get away from doing that, but we need to use this material again. I was thinking we need to keep the balance of those colours together. So a little bit of this inside of here. Maybe not that, maybe the planks. Is it B is my key? B is my key? B is my key. There it is. So what do I have? I have granite, which we might use a little bit of with bricks, andesite, diorite, sand, crimson planks, warped, and then empty. So I think in empty we'll do bricks. Let's go to the brick bit. There isn't actually a lot of variety with bricks, is there? Could possibly put that on with granite. Not quite. And there's a bit of a pattern to how I do this. Hash plus 7. So, trying to be nice and organised, aren't we? Try the Crimson Sten, says Entflix. Thank you for the suggestion. You know what, that's great, because that did cross my mind at one point when I was playing on the server yesterday, and then I just forgot about it because I never wrote it down. That could also be... You know, I'm thinking that, because it's a darker colour, maybe rather than using andesite here, let's put the old wooden axe back into place. I also feel like what we're doing here needs to be bigger. Let's just say we go... Crimson stem. You see, that doesn't look too terrible as a colour sitting next to what we've got going on over here. There's also warp stem. By the way, my goal for this stream is to just take it easy and enjoy doing some building. I don't care if I get an end product out of this or not. That looks a little more, air quotes, corrupted in my mind. What about a mix? And we got a noise in the ear. Oh god, that's weird. It's... Zefaka! Maximka! Oh, I took my time to say that one. I took my time. 5 months saying hello, Zoom, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'll tell you, I'll talk about my day and what I've been up to a little bit later in the stream, but thanks for asking. Also, we had 2 new Patreons. MS And Colin Dillon joining. And it's near the end of the month, so we'll have lots of people joining the Let's Play Minecraft Together server, which reminds me, oh my goodness me, that should be correct now. Okay? I have to wait. Dang it, it's not appearing. No, it is. Okay, there's a big delay. There's a big delay from me streaming to seeing it on my other screen. Maybe I'm going to refresh that. That is a ridiculous delay. Okay, anyway, that's been updated. That's been fixed, okay? You can't put derp faces in chat because, you know, oh, of the millions of things I have to update when something changes, I forgot one of them. What an idiot. Oh my god, you're telling me you don't even have a checklist of every little detail you need to change when there's a new oh god, X. God. Right, so I really like this. This is awesome. I like the bottom. I feel like it will allow us to create like an opening at some point. So maybe let's build that just for a second. Ah, falling forever and ever and ever and ever. I got a hot cup of tea here with me, by the way. I got a hot cup of tea. Stripped crimson stem, says Digimon. Nah, I don't think the stripped works. That works in this bit back here, right? So yeah, I think... Ooh, we got Cuplex here for 60 months. And finally I realised that I've been here for a while now. Cuplex, you are officially very, very evil. Thank you, my dude. Thanks for the resubscription. What was I thinking? So, like... I feel like something needs to perhaps change just here a little. And then create us like a bit of an industrial door opening. So this thing would probably be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide in comparison to what we've already done. We want it to be a little bit higher, which might be hard to achieve. However, we can do that. No. Now I've lost the wall. No, still got the wall. Yeah, there might be something to this. So that would normally be like that. And you'd be expecting to see that there, but that's going to change. So at this level, it should probably continue like business as usual. And we might just be able to... What does that do to the width? Let's go... So from here to there. Why'd you break it? Why'd you break it? Do a little copy paste. Didn't really copy enough blocks. I could have just put them down myself soon enough. Yeah, that wasn't very helpful. I guess it's like how this could be that big and open, but I don't think it would. Maybe the bricks. Do something like this. Then we can have this thing going, so... And we also have calcite here. So if I just stack that twice, or maybe even 3 times, then I'll just punch out that. Oh. It's kind of going in the right direction. We got another Evil X. It's Yellow Harold here for 72 months, saying 6 years, only 660 more to go. Someone's banking on that immortal life, right? Technology. It's all about technology. Arkan384, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. Appreciate it. Stone bricks would look cool. They might come in at like the detailing phase. Stone bricks have been in the game for so long. I don't really like building with them anymore. They just feel like they remind you of very old build styles. That does look kind of right. I don't know why there's a block missing there. So far I'd say, okay, this bit though, just, I don't know, something here's got to be different. I mean, that isn't too bad when it's all the same block, and we'll probably go over and put in some granite. But then it looks a little structurally odd having this just here, so... that looks better, I think. Yeah, once there's stuff behind it and a space for things to go into, I think that could work. This would also have a lip, I've just realised. See, maybe with that in front, you just have that there. And that kind of does it, actually. So we're looking at something like that. We're definitely going to be capable of making this pallet work. Right, anyway, that's good enough for me there. We can extend that, make it different. This can get stacked. We need to come up with more wall design variations. But the big thing I want to figure out is this tower over here on the edge. I do think it needs to be like this big, because the walls over there are going to be bigger, and let's make it hollow as well. Crimson stem. Bam, there you go. See, now in proportion, it looks a little better. I feel like maybe it would have windows in. Everstrew, thank you ever so much for 8 months of support. Can't stick around, but wanted to pop in the same morning. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate you doing that. Iron Juice is here for 24. It's 2 years saying hello, hello. Thank you, my dude. We're also 12 minutes in, and I've got a hot cup of tea here that may be starting to get a little bit cold. I've just had a smoked bourbon Gouda cheese, and my soul is ascending, says Widdershins. Isn't a bourbon a cigarette? No, wait, no, it's a drink, isn't it? I don't know, that sounds really weird. Like it's a liquor. X, do you think red or just normal nether brick would fit in, says Jetstream? Great suggestion, great suggestion. Okay, so... that is probably far more industrial and workable. And that would oh, that's actually... that's actually even nicer. I think those 2 blocks will come into the build palette. It's gonna make the green harder to mix in, I think, at some point. And we got gifted subs from Irene11. Thank you so much for the gifting of the subs to Caroline, Raveness, Adigi, Bjorn Ollie, and Donna Def. You heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. There is also Whiskey Maple Gouda. I'm a cheesemonger in my day job, says Daniel J. Newman. Does that mean the drink has any relationship to the cheese bit? I don't know. Thanks for letting me know. Korishi, thank you for 54 months. Finally back after a 6-month break. Glad to see more derping and name butchering. Thank you, my dude. There'll be plenty of that as always. Rocky207's here with the Prime, and Fegley is here with some cheers and bits saying, hope you have a good stream, X. Just wondering, what are we making today, or are we just chilling? We're doing both. We're both making and chilling. This is just for a factory kind of design that I want to do. Let's undo, by the way. See, I feel like that's more industrial and that's more fantasy. Just the way it brings a little more vibrance. Now, in terms of being early on in the game, like, I am very much drawn to this. Let's use the B key. So we're also going to see, like, somewhere at this level. I really feel like the green might get ditched for this build. But, you know, essentially, some sort of roofing is going to be on top of our build. And that's where it loses me a bit, right? Like, then it just don't feel right. So I think we're going to ditch this. I don't know, my gut feeling is, yeah, I want to do all this cool stuff with the build palette and keep it legit, but a bit of variety can do it a lot to tell the story, I guess, of what's going on here. So, so yeah, this is going to be something over here. I don't know quite what it needs. This, though... don't know, mixing some of this in somewhere? Helps to have a vision, right? Like, I'm picturing windows, but at the same time, when you have this kind of industrial build, a lot of them don't really have windows. They have, like, grills or just giant flat walls, which don't look that great in Minecraft. Let's type in nether. I'm just thinking we can perhaps make a nether pallet. We've got those and that, and then this. There's quite a few of these, and then there's room for variation as well. Where's the slab? Because you got those ones too. They're going to be very helpful actually, having lots of variety blocks. So that'll be pallet number 8. And I think we might focus on using those instead of the red nether bricks. Let's have a look. God, this game has so many blocks, right? So the cracked ones are actually pretty self-explanatory. They're just going to add in a bit of wear and tear. That puts a face in. Not sure if I actually want those. I kind of forgot those were a thing. Might also help to use that a little bit here and there, so... to make this thing less flat, if we want to have it as a giant pillar on the corner of like our industrial build, put in some shape like that. Yeah, that kind of goes in the right direction, I think. Maybe like this is just a front. Give it some different sort of connectivity. Does it work like that though? No, but it would probably work with that block. Or possibly this is where we could put that stem in, right? Ooh, I like that. That's a little unusual, but okay. Freaky Emerald, thank you ever so much for your 4 months. We also got Patrice Bart here for 15. Greatly appreciated. Hope y'all are down for some creativity. That's just a really nice little tint there. So this is definitely working. I think it's going to inform the height of the next part of the building, right? Now let's just grab one thing with my pallets is I'm always going to want that world edit wooden axe. We will copy and paste, and it will be a delightful thing. So yeah, now we're getting a bit more shape in there. That's good. Does feel like it might lack... oh, do you know what else I can do? Because the next wall is going to be like another one of those, this type over here. Maybe we could have like a side of the building that's green and keep it together that way. Where will this building be, says Jonas. I'm thinking of putting it between me and Corrales over here. Like, between those pillars and this build. But I'm also just building for the fun of it. Like, sometimes buildings don't end up going where you want them to go. So I try and look at it all as like just a bit of a learning opportunity, really. Okay, so that doesn't connect to the wall, and by... yeah, I kind of don't want to have more of that open. So I'm sort of thinking tinted glass with something behind it. Maybe not even with the stairs, maybe just straight up like... let's try and put something industrial looking here. I don't know why my instinct is tinted glass, but it is. Or maybe iron bars, who knows. It does help break it up a little bit, so... Like, where does it start and end, and why does it start and end? I think maybe it could start there, and we just have something completely different down at the bottom. In fact, having it open and then having like a contrasting colour back here somewhere might help. So these bits are going to go. Kind of works, and then just have more of that going up. It lacks a bit of depth, I think. But it breaks up the just the flatness of it all, really. I also shouldn't really use those red nether bricks. They're gonna take a lot of work to get early on, possibly. Iron bars are honestly the most industrial thing, though. That's a good point. They're incredibly industrial. So, looks a little bit gridded. No, the tinted glass did kind of work. We should try other blocks behind the tinted glass, like... Again, I don't have my axe. My axe... I need like a hotkey to put my axe back on here. Try nether fences instead of the glass. There are an infinite combo of things we could try, that's for sure. What were we replacing? Red nether bricks. Cut undersoil sandstone. That's oddly satisfying. I feel like it ties this across. Like it feels like more of that goes into this area. That's good. I am pleasantly surprised at that. It also makes me think that shouldn't be there. So maybe at this level it's then all of a sudden... we did have a suggestion to use the fences, right? That odd one nether fence. I can see why you would do that. In fact, that might even play well here. Now, I think I really like the tinted glass with the sandstone behind it. Nether campfire behind the tinted glass. I'm not going to focus on adding that stuff yet, but animations come later. Obviously, we want that kind of thing. Warped fence. Yes, we could inflict a little colour. A little colour could come from one of these. Now, I was going to get away from using the warped in this palette, and I don't think it will... Nah, that doesn't... I don't know. That doesn't go in the right direction if you ask me. Neither does that. I think you're pushing it a bit, trying to keep it together for this one. So this needs to be a tower, like, and then something needs to come out of the top of it. And it still feels like a little flat, like you want something coming off the edges. Probably buttons and things like that might come in like a final pass. The whole build. Now, because this is industrial, we can just have flat tops, which I kind of like. A flat top for that, I'm not so sure about. But I kind of feel like maybe you need to see some of this be utilised across the top area to then tie it into the next thing. My gut is saying that. And then the roofs are going to be made with like stone and whatnot, so you'd see a little bit of it. I like the way it just makes the walls pop, actually. That surprisingly has like a nice tying off effect, I think. As for what goes here, probably just keep it flat with the bricks. What do you think, peeps? You give me your feedback. Tinted glass, but ever so often add a piece of blue glass to make it look grittier. How about wrapping the brick around the tower, says Fuzimoda. I feel like... I know why you would want to do that, but I just feel like as soon as I start putting a bit of it in... Nah. Like, this is like a separate thing here, so... It's all good, it's all good. I very much like that. I think maybe this is a bit bold, and actually at the bottom level... ironically where I liked having a bit of that visible. Maybe at the bottom level it should actually be just this stuff. I think that's smart. That looks much smarter. That ties it together pretty well. Then I really like this, but I feel like you also then want to see the next thing, which would be that. Yeah, and then that's just going to be the flat roof. Oh, that's really good. No, really good. This, it feels like, could be a little bit taller. Now, because it's the top section, I think we can get away with that. Let's do it like... Move up 2. And then stack 2. So we've got a much taller section there. Feels like the structure will need to change a bit, and I did want to... Let's use the hotkeys again. I did want to use some of these at some point, so maybe... Maybe we get away from the flatness a little here. I mean, that's to me that kind of feels okay so far. And then I feel like I also see where it's going next, which should turn us around the corner. So yeah, I can definitely see some ways we can shape up the building from where we've started. When we come around to this side, I might just want to keep that as is for the moment. Maybe we'll find some ways to add some industrial details to it in a bit. What I'm picturing next, and it's just about where, and I feel like it's here, that we want to peel this off. Peel it off there. Also, these walls are a bit like, they're a bit balked up, aren't they? Why are you all balked? Why are you not unbalking properly? That's kind of annoying, actually, because it's affecting the way I'm looking at it a bit. But it looks better, so that's good. Yeah, I think we're at the right height. This is, again... Do you know, it's easier probably to do it that way. To place less blocks. Configing, thank you ever so much for the Prime, and Lunaris05, thank you for 10 months of support here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma. Be sure to hit that follow button if you're enjoying it. Tomorrow we'll be streaming again. Tomorrow, probably evening. Tomorrow evening it'll be, yeah. I will be streaming probably in survival from the Hermitcraft server will be the plan. So I kind of want to use this nice effect again of that. So on this side, the roof is like lower down, and we're going to do something with this space underneath, having this come across, just to make it feel like it's a bit more than just the corner. And then we're going to end up with a line like this. So we've got, you know what, the front one almost like matches up with the second, so maybe we don't have to worry about it. If you're down here on the ground, it doesn't mean too much. So perhaps we can just look at it like this is our little roof ledge, right? Looking good. And then we do something in here, and this is where we might use the warped woods again. So we need the axe as always. I need a hotkey for that, I keep saying it. Take it from there and give it a good stack, about 10 blocks. Gives us plenty of space to look at and work with. Sandstone wall instead of nether brick on the corners to pull across the theme to the front, says H to the Izzo. We've tried that. It's You need the contrast, right? You need that contrast. I mean, to be honest, like I feel like the sandstone is like holding on. If you were to ditch it, you could come up with just something overall with this shape way more fitting. But we are trying to unify our themes a little bit, so that's the challenge, right? And oh, that's not working. There we go. As a builder, or as a, I don't know, trying to be a builder. What am I going for here? I want the sandstone one first, I think. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do all of this is. Should I be challenging myself, or should I be just trying to build the best looking thing possible? I feel like after chatting to Scar, like I realised that these things that I know, but maybe you don't fully take them in, like having a backstory for your builds, greatly inform what they are. So for me to take my build, I mean, maybe this is what I should have done earlier on. When I had that first build, I should be like, okay, now what does it make me feel? What is this? Is this a fantasy build? Am I like a mage or something? Like that's a vibe I get from this, almost like positive, vibrant kind of mage magic. And then perhaps what I should have done is like think about what type of buildings extend from that, you know? Like I could have built a wizard's tower or an alchemy building or something, right? And then embellish it in that direction. That did not cross my mind. So now I am trying to build something industrial with something that is not an industrial palette. So it's going to be super weird, but I don't know. I feel like you can get lost forever in thinking about it, and sometimes you just crack on and get the thing done. So obviously I've started off by taking what we've already done and doing it again. Oops. Let's go here. Could we perhaps try, and normally I have the green on top, right? It looks like an alchemic university, says Widdershins. So we could pivot our industrial build to say this is a building of alchemy. Is that the idea? Because then I could add alchemy related details to it. Like maybe on the roof we create some pipes with steam coming out. I mean, that's still pretty industrial adjacent. But maybe that's a better way of approaching the build from now on. Another thing I always try to do with my builds is like not do too much of this where you put blocks you can't see in and put stone in, because I don't like wasting materials, but it'll slow you down. There should be like a plugin where you can just run your build for a can I see it, and then it just changes it to stone for you. Bagley's here with cheers and bits saying, weird suggestion, but I think based on the style it might be worth checking out an architecture style called Art Nouveau? Art Nouveau? P.S. Try mixing in crimson planks into the nether bricks, end stone into the sandstone. I can try those things later on when we get to that. Oh my god, why is it so difficult to just select the text in slobs? It just, and then it unselects it. Right, I think I got it. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, we're focusing on getting the build done. I don't like to go straight into the details because that is so weird. You get like really bogged down. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by trying to look this up. This is not an architectural style according to... Hang on, let me add the word. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm missing, because I'm not getting architecture. Ah, oh wow, Gaudi. Yeah. Huh, I've actually been and seen quite a few of Gaudi's buildings. Oh my god, yeah. This totally looks like some Gaudi. Wow, okay. That's interesting. I can totally see looking at some of these images. Oh, that's giving me tons of ideas. I mean, there's literally stuff here that's like sandstone and warped planks. I literally... like, green is one of the colours, and the other one I'm looking at is also red. So, and then blue is a popular one. But like those three colours get used with like the light sandstone. Dang, that's something I got to think about a little bit, perhaps. Looking at that has just made me feel like this is worthless now. Like, what am I doing? Building's a rabbit hole. I was literally just sort of waffling about how, like, it's such a rabbit hole that you can get lost in. I don't feel like that's going to work there. Oh, now, oh, I should not have looked at that. It's just totally ruined my, my take on what I'm building. What's Slushu's Gaudi? He's an architecture. Oh, Curls, I forgot to open Discord, sorry. Mon, 2005, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude, appreciate it. Oh man, that really threw me off now. Totally interrupted what I was thinking about. Okay, I got it open now. Is there something here I should read? I don't know. I need to focus on the stream. On the stream. So chat, do you like the direction it's going in? Should we stick with it? I think we have to stick with it at this point. I'm going to change some stuff up here. Not X saying Gaudi is an architecture. Is that what I said? He's an architect. Sorry. Try prismarine. Nah, it's the green itself that's the problem here. Like, it really, like, you get away with this because it sort of matches the red, right? So we got 3 different shades of red, 4 with the bricks, then yellow and grey. That's why you get away with it. I just think introducing the warp wood, I said it earlier, and just even throwing down a handful of blocks, I'm like, nah. Nah, let's try something, something a little different over here. I don't know quite where to go with all this, but just a couple of ideas. Not really sure why the bricks are here. I don't like that. Let's pivot this back. Formless Duck is here for 3 months, saying, Morning X, what are you working on today? We're working on our factory, which we might have to stop calling a factory. Yeah, so it needs to go back, because I feel like that's kind of important, and then maybe some netherite stairs. Netherrack stairs. No, nether brick. God, there's so many rights, racks, bricks. What are they going to add next? Never knocks, never nukes. All the confusion. Yeah, and then actually maybe, like, let's not forget that sandstone's supposed to be a part of this build palette. Can we get away with that? You know, there used to be really cool builds people did with sandstone and nether brick, like, next to one another. It's like a high contrast thing that people, or builders, used to mess about with. I think that's another build style that's just probably faded away with the amount of new blocks that have been added. Ugh, gosh, I'm having trouble aiming anywhere at the moment. Yeah, certainly feels like it's missing. Expand 1. Move 1. It's missing this. And then I think it should probably come down to the ground level. Maybe down here, maybe this is where we put all the sandstone, right? We put the sandstone at the bottom around here. Wait, didn't we? I already put sandstone in. What am I talking about? Right, let's go ahead and grab there. To here. Actually kind of has a cool vibe. I've accidentally doubled up the brick, and that's kind of okay. I kind of like that it's doubled up actually. This to me feels like those should be windows. The sandstone can stay at the bottom perhaps. Now the question is there another big one of these on this end? I feel like there has to be. Yeah, I feel like there has to be. So let's just go put it. This is really annoying that the walls are all like goofed up. I wish there was like an ungoof tool. Right, I want to stand here. So then how do I calculate where that is? Hang on, I also need to... I want to rotate it. So it's like 2 blocks in from that. Okay, so I want to think... like it's going to be there. 1, 2, in here. I guess you can always guess, and if you get it wrong, try again. Or get it right first time, which we've almost done. I could actually deliberately leave it off like that. It would mess up this wall, but slight oddities like that in a build, I think, sometimes aid it. I don't know. I don't know if that's worth doing or not. So this thing's going to come like all the way over to here, and then maybe it just like integrates immediately into the wall. I mean, the fact that it's rotated, I think, might let you get away with it. I don't know. It looks slightly better uneven. Yeah, I feel like you need a bit of that here and there, don't you? I think I'm going to go with it just because we should embrace the fact that it's off a little bit. Maybe it says something about the architecture of the build as a whole. Also, I've just noticed something I don't like though, which is that there's the 2 there. That will have to go, maybe. Like, that don't feel right. Right, first thing first. Bit of that, and then second thing second. Give it a nudge. It's starting to all come together, isn't it? It's starting to all come together. Fegley says embrace the chaos. We're embracing it, that's for sure. It's certainly a cool build. I don't know if I'll end up building it on Hermitcraft or not though. It just feels a bit off the whole industrial vibe. Especially after seeing that architecture by Gaudi, I'm like, oh. Oh, maybe I got the wrong idea here. Do you want to build that on HC, says Oriex? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I got so lucky with that first build. I really do. Then again, I had like a lot of time to work on it. I would before building it, I had a lot of opportunities to work on it, and I would just do a little bit at a time, and then eventually, like, the spark just going to hit me with the palette and the shape. So, like, maybe I just need to keep plugging away, really. Why are some of them so goofed up? Like, some of them are goofed up different ways to the others. Like, that one there isn't connected to anything. Super annoying. Anyway. So my mind is thinking, like, you want that on the edge there. Again. But then it's going to, like, look for symmetry, and we're going to end up with, like, a big square blob. Also, we don't have any alchemy vibes going on here. It kind of looks like someone found an old factory and tried to renovate it while leaving a couple of features. Yeah. That side is less impressive than this side. I like this wall. It's just... Where is it going? What is the story? Give it a tower at the far corner, someone said. I feel like this is already towering pretty tall. A clock tower might bridge the gap between industrial and alchemistry. I'm not going to put a clock tower on. I've actually already built a clock tower. One of the things I liked about last season's builds was where Evil X used to sit. The one with the angled edge. You just made me realise the tower that I've built is like kind of way more like Gaudi. Right, so remember we talked earlier about iterations? Maybe this is the end of this iteration now. We've tried some stuff. Maybe we now move on to another idea, because as alright as it is, I don't know, I feel like we need to keep pursuing the best ideas. So this I think is reasonable because it fits in very well with what we've already done. The tower is going to really like embellish the theme in that direction, and I feel like this industrial idea might be a bit of a mistake. Maybe we do need to focus a little bit more on something Gaudi style. I think we'll break it up now. We'll put the brain into a different gear, and we'll do some redstoning, and then we'll come back to thinking about some shapes, designs, ideas, or whatever later on. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a decent work area, really. We'll do some redstoning in front of the factory. And I don't have a redstone palette set up, really. So I'm going to make one. Might just be better to clear it when you do the next bit. Probably not going to need a lectern. Might need a lever. Probably won't need a lamp. Note blocks can occasionally be useful. Kind of want them to face towards me. There we go. Put a note block over here or something. Okay, and then what else might I require? Actually, probably not really anything else. Maybe the occasional button. Probably won't need a daylight sensor. I do know what I also need. I need this stuff. And those. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so like... Oh! Did that all wrong. Cool. Alright, we've got a little build palette. That's good. What's going to be our block of choice? I always like to do something with a slab. We'll build all of this on... Build it on sandstone. Let's build it on copper. I'm gonna build it on that today. That's like our key build block. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of hopper minecarts that we want to take in and out of the kelp farm that we got. Let's start somewhere, I guess. So these hopper minecarts are going to end up being parked. I think I want to make it so that there's 6 of them. Now I filled up pretty much a whole chest. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 should cover it. So we need 6 storage modules for hopper minecarts. So I think we'll just start with an array. In fact, I'm not going to build all 6 straight away. They're going to be parked, so something's going to activate them to send them off. They'll go out one by one. We'll probably put a delay between each of them, right? There might also be clever, smarter, better ways of doing this, but we can look into that in a moment. So, going to need the rails. These ones would be powered, just for the sake of getting them out nice and easy. You see, they all go in the correct direction. Don't need to change that. We power them with some repeaters coming through, right? So you've got these parked hopper minecarts, and then they all go out. So it seems to me like the parking bit is pretty simple. It's the unloading bit that's going to be interesting. Also, we should think about space. Like, this takes up a fair bit of space. Put down one of those. Give these delays. And yeah, so we'd have like these ready to go out to the farm. And they're all off. Not bad, not bad. Let's also make sure these are powered. And just do that again. I think they're going to have plenty of space to go out. How you get them back in there, that's a whole other thing. So I think the way they'll come back in is probably getting dropped onto the parked track. Ugh. So that means you need this block combination so that they can come in on a rail and park themselves. So now that's the going out system. What about the coming back in system, right? So they've been to the kelp farm. We'll give ourselves a bit of space over here. I think it will probably need to be like higher up too. Come back in, and we're going to have a similar kind of array, and this is where I think things could easily go wrong, and we might need some smarter ideas. I should really put both copper things in here. Oh, have I done that, have I? Hey X, what's the build for? Storage, says Elan. It's for unloading the kelp farm. I'm assuming y'all have watched my recent episodes and understand where we're at. So I don't really know the best way to align this, because things got to come in and then it's got to go out. And usually what you do with a hopper unloader is you have the track come in, and then you send it back out again, right? Except we need it to go out a different direction, which would normally be a pretty simple challenge, right? You know, you detect items are coming in. Also might need to consider that one would come in empty. And then you change the direction of the rail for it going out. The problem with that is there are going to be 6 of them in a row that want to go out. So when the first one comes through, there needs to be enough space, which is why this over here might need changing, for the minecart to come in, and then for that to change, Next one. Do you know what? Actually, that's interesting. So, if you think of it like this, like let's say it needs to come out this way. The first one goes in, and then it flicks the track. The second one comes along into the second module. And then it flips the track, etc, etc. When they come out, they don't need to be flipped. But the problem here is, like, what if the first one goes in with hardly... I mean, in theory, the first one picks up the most kelp. So, I don't think you have to worry about that too much. But what if it goes in, doesn't have a lot of kelp, comes out again, and then it might just disrupt the other minecarts? Or this could happen at the end. The one at the end might have nothing and go in, so that could break. So I think you need to control them in a different way. Which could be something along the lines of this. We've got the unloader below us. And then we have... I don't know if you can do this. I remember this being a thing a long time ago. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really get done with rails anymore. We need a lever or something. Yeah, there used to be a bug around that, I remember. Like, so you can once the first one drops down, it can push that out so the next one goes across. And I think I just had the laziest idea ever, which is brilliant. So, what I love about Redstone is, like, sometimes, like, you can find, like, a shortcut, if you like, that makes everything simple. Ben Surf, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription. So, rather than having arrays and stuff, like, what's the laziest way we could do this? I'm just wondering if... Let's actually build an unloader. I think I might need to just literally test this right now. This is a very easy peasy idea. So let's put that there. In fact, what I should really do is use the redstone block a bit more. So no need for a piston. These are going to be coming back in from wherever they've been out there doing the business. Also, I don't think I need that in here right now. Gonna need comparator, gonna need redstone, gonna need a bunch of stuff. Right. In fact, it's all right here, isn't it? Oh, that's silly. So you got your unloader. Work smarter, not harder, says Skimballs. Yeah, that's pretty much the thinking. This has not been set up to actually unload items, has it? Right, so then we're gonna have, like, the minecart comes in from up here. So we'll be plopping them down around here. They need to have items in. I'm not sure if I can shift middle click a hopper to give it items. In that case, I could put a chest above, but it'd be kind of slow. Actually, I think what I got to do is just do them one by one manually for now, or unless I were to use like a command or something, command block. Girls of Doom, thank you for gifting a sub to Logical Geek Boy. LGB, good to have you with us, my dude. And thank you again, Carls, for gifting that sub. We got AGO2 here subscribing as well. Appreciate it. Thank you for the subscription. Cyberjoint says it is stream weekend again. It is not. Stacked hopper minecart unloader, so all items flow through each other to the bottom where it's picked up, and they're all sent out to come back. No need for an array. And sends them out all empty, says Jetstream. You're thinking what I'm thinking, but you've also reminded me that the hopper minecarts will pass the items through. So its behaviour will be greatly different than I first pictured. I sort of pictured it doing it one by one. This also then means that we wouldn't need all of the hopper minecarts to even come through. So it's essentially one unloader. What's that about? One unloader does the job. So yeah, everything's there is set up for a test. So like, maybe our test should be a bit on the light side, right? I'm going to get the next one ready as well. Because this one's going to pass items through. So let's put a bit more in there. This one goes down. And that one goes down. Ah. Ow. Usually what they're doing is they're coming in and then going back out. What we're doing now is dropping them straight onto it. So I think it picks up its momentum to go off quicker than coming in and coming back out. Now, if we make it so it comes in and back out, I think we'll run into more problems. So we need to come up with something that perhaps naturally just messes with this a bit. That allows them to drop on each other. I don't know, let's see. Ah! How pleasant that that worked. But how unpleasant that that doesn't work. Great. Progress was made. Challenge the Sensei. Thank you so much for 21 months of support. Seeing the behind the scenes fiddling around like this is really inspiring to get playing in my own world. Love these streams. Oh, great. I'm glad you enjoy the different approach. I think it's great to change it up and do stuff a little different. Also, Fuzzy Moda, thank you for 3 months of support. Greatly appreciated. Can we push minecarts for pistons? Says Sir Armando. We can, and I was about to say, but the problem is that you would push the rail. So let's go ahead and, like, what if, I guess the piston could just push in a different direction entirely. So you have that there to push it onto a rail that takes it off over here. So that's a possibility, right? Now, what if it's actually... So we're trying to control a rail that is no longer there. So now we're trying to... Yeah, now we've extended the piston. Now, the minecart might sit inside the shape of the piston a little bit. This could all get really quirky and unreliable. Now, it also... That minecart did not have any items in it, so we'll try again. I think it sits on the piston head, so we can't drop it through like that. We can also use a sticky... Oh, we could use a sticky piston and a slab, right? Okay. How was your curry week, X, says Whammy. It was abandoned. I didn't have a Thursday curry. I had enough. I'm having one today, though. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to order. After getting that bellyache, I was kind of like, ah. Right, anyway. So that'll do the same sort of job, right? And now we just got to put a half slab in here. And we've got a noise in the air. What is it here? Why is he singing? Carls, thank you for gifting a sub to Short Insomniac. Short Insomniac, be sure to say thanks in the chat. There's a couple of gifted subs. Appreciate it, Carls. You get an animation. Oh, there's 2 new animations today. There's 2, and I don't know how they would get triggered off. I don't know. Moonlaw, thank you for the cheers and biddies. Greatly appreciated. And Hector Carnesia, thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. X, you're a bit delayed, mate. I'm a bit delayed? How so? Whammy says, what's your deadlift personal record? Very specific question. I don't do personal records. I don't do... I don't train to hit some sort of number. I train for consistency. That's just my approach. Right, so... And also, deadlifts are not something I do lightly. Like, actually, no, I do. Literally do lightly. Because I take the risks very seriously. So I'm all about, like, just constantly focusing on doing the exercise the best I can, as opposed to trying to lift some crazy weight. I feel like you would also put that there just in case something happens. So that seemed like a really successful test, and I wasn't giving it my full attention. So I think what I want to do up here is replace that and have a different approach here. So what we're going to do this time is give them all a stack and just see what happens. I've got a feeling they might get stuck. So like 1, 2. Oh, it's broken. Well, now we've got 2 that are goofed together, which is something that might just happen. So like, yeah, that did not look good, did it? Okay. Why would it? There were options to pull out. Oh. Okay, well, see, that went really poorly in a variety of ways, so something has got to change for this. I guess you can maybe make like a trapdoor inside of the thing. There's a bit of like a queuing system, but I can see that. Disturbed Puppy says quality over quantity. That's essentially it, yeah. That's essentially it. It's like I focus to do the movement, to build strength, to do that in a way that's healthy for the body. But with something like a deadlift and the history of my back pains, I am all about, you know, warming up and doing it properly and getting some very quality reps in with low weight. And, you know, I will do that for a long time, and then at some point I'm going to evaluate it and go, shall I put a bit more weight on now? Right, I'm not rushing to try and get some number on a spreadsheet. Okay, so did I put the things in? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So now they're stacked up, right? And the theory here is that this could be, yeah, it's shoving a lot into the one at the bottom. Now, what it shouldn't do that. Like, why does it stop? Hang on, that's the one that's got the items in. So it stopped taking the items out. I think the hopper looks at a particular other hopper minecart or something along those lines. What if we added like a bigger delay here? You would need a sort of fail-safe delay. So here's where the redstone gets a bit complicated. So we now want an instant and a delayed. I'm just going to build like a very basic sort of circuit that's visually obvious. It also, again, the problem with doing stuff like this with redstone is you've got to realize that there might be an assumption here too, and the assumption is that, like, if something comes in with a couple of items, it might break our delay circuit. So this isn't a particularly robust delay circuit, is all I can say, or extension, or however we're going to look at it. And we might not even want to pursue this idea too much longer if it's not working. Okay, so we're kind of good to go, I think. Yeah. So like 1, 2, 3. So this should hold the thing open for a little bit longer. So when that shuts off, which is going to do, it's like, there, it shuts off. Ah! So this almost helped, but no. There is something really funky with the way that it picks from the hoppers. So it does not pass down the way we want it to. So I feel like we have to now think a little different about this. So a hopper, a minecart on top of that would stop. I think it's going to end up with the passing down. I am not sure what to do here, because if we have one trapdoor, we're going to park... Huh. So, let's break it down a little bit, right? We've seen this funky behaviour of stacking them on top of together. That was the trick we were hoping to make everything easy. Now that that's not accessible, we have to then go back to like probably needing multiple of these, and then you're going to have to deal with the fact that you might have 2 minecarts coming in too close together. You start to get into that place of like tricky timings, which we're trying to avoid. LGB had a suggestion. Could you put the hoppers as part of the stream at the start system? Wait, as part of the start system, so they can unload whilst being sent off again. No need for an unloader, just a hopper into a chest. That's a really clever idea. That would put us back on the track of just having an array, and it would be an input-only array, and the output would be pretty straightforward. I like that idea. Is there possibly something else we could do here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We got Noogly here for 9 months. It's a Twitch baby. That's an animation on your screen. Oh, you love it. Happy to be a Twitch baby on my favourite streamer. Appreciate it, my dude. This one's for you. Like I said, there's 2 more, right? There's 2 new ones. Dauntless Media, thank you ever so much for the donation, saying love the streams, the HC videos and perspective on life-work balance. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Thanks for the support. Glad you enjoy the waffles. You should use the minecart waiting thing that Doc built for his ghasts. I don't know what that is. And as I'm doing a live stream, I'm not exactly going to go look up someone else's video right now. So, let's persist with what we're currently doing, as I think LGB actually had a really great idea. And it's one of those things that I love about logic and puzzles. I'm just not exactly good at it myself, but I love how like I'm problem solving and looking at like the flow of information, if you want to sound fancy, or just events. How there are ways at looking at things like that where it's like, well, actually, you know, you've got this thing where you're like getting them to sit down and unload, and then you're sending them off again. It's like when you send them off again, don't send them into a thing that sends them off again, right? That's the trick there. That's pretty clever. I'm not really thinking, I'm just placing blocks. So let's put the thinking cap back on. So we want an unloader. And then, actually, I think I want it just to point downwards. It's going to be easier to deal with. So there would be a chest, right? And then it's like you've seen before. Need these 2 blocks. And I have all the wrong things in my inventory. We've got the rails. We've got that covered. So this thing turns back on. So essentially, I don't think I actually need even this. They just need to sit on top of a hopper, because we're not going to like need to send them out ASAP. This thing's going to be running on a slow clock to the point where it's never really going to have to like be measured by Redstone to make sure the minecart is empty. The minecart is, again, like the simplification of things is bizarre sometimes. If the minecart is empty... Oh my god, I think I just thought of another way to simplify it. So if the minecart is not even empty, it's still not really that much of a problem, right? So let's go for like maximum simplicity. This is cracking me up now as to how simple this might just be. Okay, let's say our system was built for like 6 minecarts like I described. There's definitely a problem. No, there's definitely a problem to solve, but here's what I'm thinking, at least, right? So, let's just make one of these a redstone block, I guess. So we're going to do it like we did before, a moment ago. It's like trying to redstone this is actually maybe the problem. Let's just do a test with 4 minecarts. Now, we did see some quirkiness that might reoccur, but I kind of did that the wrong way then. Dang it. I'm going to just get rid of that then. Start again. Start again. 1, 2, So this is what happens when you try and talk, right? You can go, X, you're a derp. You're so silly with the redstone. It's like, when you do redstone, are you talking to 2,000 peeps? Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Be sure to hit that follow button. Okay, so now everything is going to unload eventually, right? So like, we'll give it some help. Okay, this thing now empties. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go, empties. Now, what does the hopper do? Does it find a different entity eventually? And you know what? I was thinking we've got to separate the hopper minecarts. Do we need to separate the hopper minecarts? Like, they will pick everything up between them. Is that like a really slow rate? No, that looks like normal hopper transfer speed, but for some reason here it was blinking. Now I can't click on the other ones, and I can't think of a way to get them out of there quicker, but essentially now this is kind of lame though, right? Like, now I don't have to do any cool redstone engineering. Now it's just like, oh, just stack the minecarts together. So we could stack 6 of them and just have one unloader that doesn't need any redstone. And that would actually mean that what I could build over here could be way smaller, at least part of it. You might still separate the minecarts to prevent them from going backwards. Yeah, stacked minecarts do have some quirky behaviours, don't they? There's no denying that. Maybe what we'll do then is pretend like there's some kelp farmage going on or something. Kelp farmage, the best kind of farmage around. We got Fegley here with Cheers and Biddies saying, if you want to overcomplicate it to flex on your fellow hermits, the answer is try abusing the dolphin's ability to pick things up and throw them out. I could put a dolphin in that tank. I do not like working with mobs like that. Like, relying on their AI and stuff to get the job done, that just gives me a headache. I appreciate the suggestion though. Thank you, Vegley. And I did not read this one. The Moobles for 4 months. Hey X and chat. Been a while since I caught a stream due to the stress of starting uni, but it's nice to come to try and get some done while listening in the background. Cool. Thank you, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope uni's slowly becoming less stressful. Mr. Bumblebee Bot, thank you for 5 months. Appreciate it. Apparently Blackjack is saying to get them out quicker, you need a hopper minecart below, sitting over 4 hoppers. Alright. Oh, right, yeah. That'll be interesting. So, we don't need to unload it quicker, but if we can, we might have an opportunity to have a bit of fun. Yeah, that's good. That's put an image in my head. We'll come back to that. I know what you're talking about. So, like, the actual system is this. It's like, every once in a blue moon, kelp farm activates. Off you go. Ah! No! Okay, that was really weird how they all disappeared at the same time. Wow. That's not good. We can't have... See, we can't have 0 quirky behaviour because if we go over here and we bust a hole in this building, like, there is too much track here that would probably get a little quirky. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. That's the reason you separate them, says OXD. Right. So then we're back to like this again. However, we could do as Logical Geek Boy suggested. So I don't think we're going to test the thing Blackjack suggested then, because I mean, we technically don't need to actually have it, because we can just let it drain slow. But we kind of need to do something. Let's, grab this thing. I can't even finish my own sentence at the moment. So, let's go... Huh? Give ourselves some more space again. Alright, so like attempt number 10 or whatever. So we're probably back to using an array. And we just have to like pray that the minecarts... What we want to do is just add like a big delay between them, I guess. To make sure they stay relatively apart. Now we do want to make the array small, so I don't think we're going to bake the delay into the size of the thing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Difference this time, as we suggested, as LGB suggested, is that they are to be simply like parked. So we'll put in the chests, which are obviously going to then go off to the furnace array or something like that. Put our hoppers on top. Hibbity hoobity hopper. Block behind. This is the block that will be powered after a certain amount of time. As for the array, what's nice, as I mentioned before... And let's get some redstone blocks. What I mentioned before was that we don't have to mess around with changing the rail directions, which is really good. So all of those parked hoppers can eventually come out, and then we need some sort of system of delay to power them one by one. So this one goes out first, then the next one. And they're also going to need to come back in the same spot, right? So this is the bit where I'm not too keen on how this happens. Like, we could use comparators to detect items unloading, but that's not great. We kind of need... Maybe what we do is we have like a lock system when you go in, thanks to a detector rail. This is probably going to be achieved using pistons as latches. So you would have detect that the first one has gone in. Then it needs to change the rail behind it. So that needs to change this. I thought you could do it like that. Maybe not. Come back to the piston in a moment. Right, so you can do that. So you need to do that as like a latch. I think there might just be room here. It also changes the one below it, which is probably not a problem. We'll see why in a moment. So that with a minecart on it. And they kind of need all these blocks. Oh! But it wouldn't be permanent, it would just be passing through. And that's two... this might actually... Oh! Now it... Wait a minute. We found a bug, look. Oh! Wait, what is going on here? Did I just go mad for a second? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Like... That's working, that's cool, right? It's more of a quasi thing? Okay, but that block up there. So what did I see? What did I do just a second ago? Can I update it like that? That doesn't count as powering it, but I think this does. Yeah, okay, so that does. Well, that's really annoying. It's quasi-connectivity, yeah. Okay, here's an unlikely thing. And it's not that helpful, but yeah, it doesn't power that block in a way that then powers the adjacent block. Sir Firelord is here for 10 months, saying, after a long month of giftage, I finally subbed 6 months ago. It's been great, and I love the community here. Shout out to Becca, Curls, and Shinny, but also to everyone else in the Discord who chat and laugh with me. Y'all make life and work bearable for me. And I'm never leaving as long as I have the means to stay. That's lovely, Sir Firelord. That is really awesome to hear. I'm glad you love being a part of the community here. That's wonderful. Use an observer, says Leska. Interesting idea. Actually, yeah, that is. No, it doesn't quite do what I want. Well, okay, so I kind of want, like, power in this block, which technically it doesn't have to be a powered block if there is a power source that's gonna... So this is like, not pretty, I guess you could say, but like... that, right? So that'll shift it there. But here's a problem. I need a piston here to push it back later on. So that would be ideal, but we can't do that. Someone says target block. What would a target block do here? Nothing? What would a target block do? I don't know what you mean by that. One block between the piston and the redstone block. Yeah, that's, I guess, yeah, that's the other way of doing it. Huh. But now you got like an inversion problem. But I guess it's just a case of that, right? So now, hover minecart comes through, and it's permanently latched. So the next one arrives. Then when they've all arrived, all of these get reset. That in theory works, that really does. So we need the delay to send them all out. A power system that sends them all out and resets this. That's going to be very simple. So I think what I'll do is get a little cheaty with building the redstone now. Cheaty X with the cheaty ways. So that's that array built, right? And then we would have like a line of redstone. I don't know how compact this whole thing needs to be. That's another point. Like, I guess kind of going to use that space either way. Jip, thank you ever so much for the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I think I'm going to put these on top, just because we're probably going to have more vertical space than we are horizontal. So yeah, line of redstone to reset that contraption. So now we've got 6 modules. They'll fall down. They'll sit on that thing until they're unloaded. So now we want to power these all one by one, with this being the input right here. I didn't really think this through, but how can we get like a... I mean, if worst comes to worst, I just use a redstone repeater, right? But like, how can we get a decent delay between each of these things? There might not be enough space for something like a comparator clock of forms. No, I really don't see that working unless we use some vertical space. Chat, ideas for delays? I guess we could have a sequence. Yeah, okay. We're probably gonna have to sequence this, and we have to do it with 2 width, which is never good. But like, I could have Some form of, yeah, because it's too wide, it's going to make sequencing it a bit odd. Now, the circuit that I want to build, I'm not sure if it translates vertically, but essentially, let's grab a torch. That's a delay, isn't it? You need 2 bits of redstone dust on one end and one on the other. You used to be able to build it this way, and then they changed the way the redstone worked, and it was no longer possible. And I can't remember what the trick was. There was, I think it's to do that. So that, I think that used to work, but they changed how it reads the redstone signal, and it no longer works that way, unfortunately. Can you send off the next one when the previous one comes back, says K-Deads? No, that wouldn't work. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to send them off in sequence with a delay. The delay's a bit more of like a fail-safe, I guess. Twibbles79, thank you so much for the raid. Another one. Appreciate all your raids, dude. Welcome all the peeps. If any of you are good at redstone, we need help. We need the help. I'm looking at chat. No one's got a clue. No one's got a clue. What other forms of delay are there? Maybe detect when a minecart departs to trigger the next one. It would. It may be able to provide like a slightly bigger delay, but like it doesn't add much of a delay, does it? A trickle feed. I have no idea what a trickle feed is. For the sequence, you could just put repeaters between the copper blocks next to rows. Yeah, that's what I would do, but I'm trying to add a delay, right? A bigger delay than 4 ticks. Cobweb timer, says the Fegley. I don't want to use that. Just use repeaters. Why think so overcomplicated, says Tie-Dive? Because, as I've said several times, I don't want to have a short delay between each minecart. If I can put a bigger delay between each one, less chance of the contraption breaking. That's it, really. Like, this game is super quirky. The minecarts are going to go around like a circuit inside the building and come back out again. I would not be surprised if something caused it to go wrong. So like if there's a way we can put a bigger delay between each of these rather than just have them all far off 4 ticks apart, we may just save ourselves some headaches, right? EFO hopper clock. I don't know how that would help. Snake the repeaters so you can place more. You'd still... Nah, it's because they're so close together, I don't know. A chain of hoppers where each hopper is locked until the previous one is empty. That, yeah, that could work. That could totally work. But then the activation circuit would require some sort of weird pulsing mechanism, I guess. Yeah, this is an idea. Okay, we'll investigate. Wait, what way round are we going? This way round. The way round we go is important. So we have that. It's a lot of hoppers as well. I think I'm gonna build it. I don't like the fact that it uses so many hoppers. I mean, I'm trying to make a lot of stuff in the world a bit more lightweight, you know? I can tell you now, now that I've seen how many hoppers it is, like, I'm trying to like not contribute too much to the lag and stuff. But I'll show the concept, right? So I could probably just do this like that. Although, actually... No. It's kind of not what I'm trying to do. So I guess... Well, it doesn't look pretty, but it works. So that... Oh, it's gone. Oh yeah, the delay will just make this an absolute pain. Yeah. So I want to detect like when it's finished, right? So maybe that shouldn't be one of those. And maybe the last thing it should do is go into a dropper. So now it's ready. It's ready for action. So then I don't actually need to detect that it's there. The beginning sequence is just powering that block. That starts off the thing. And then you want something else to sort of power blink, basically. So like you'd want a separate clock. Like a self-resetting clock. That an item in there would like turn off or something. This is getting like weirdly complicated. Should probably build it a little further away from that. So like, oops, it's not what I was trying to do. It's not what I'm trying to do either. I built one recently. I just can't quite remember the way it goes. Now that feels sort of close to what it... What did I do? I did this a while ago. There was something that made it like... I mean, that's... Here's the thing. This has like... I think this has an even turning on and turning off. So you need it to blink. Maybe it'd be better to think in terms of something that cycles and then using a observer to pull a pulse off of it. Like, That actually sort of does the job, because if you put a repeater here and then put a torch on it, that's what we're looking for. Except you need it way slower than that. So let's go back to that that type of clock. The thing is, you have to power it, and then it will slowly decay, and the decay is doing that. Would a hopper clock to deliver a pulse which moves a piston feed tape with a redstone block be simpler and more reliable? I don't know. This is like... The signal flow stuff is fun, but sometimes it just becomes a bit, ugh. EFO hopper clock now. It's not the right type of clock. Like, the EFO hopper clock is great, but like it gets suggested for a lot of like use cases it's not really meant for. What we want is to hit this button, right? So we power it on, and then we set off a clock that every now and then pulses, and then we can turn it off again. That clock needs to have a slow pulse. So you don't want it relying on variables like the items in the hopper. I'm just going to give up on this because it's just annoying me now. As you can see, my redstone skills are limited. I understand where to go. I just don't know the circuits. I never remember all the circuits and stuff. A minecart on a looping track with detector rails, which you can slow down and speed up by using powered rails, says Thegley. No, I wouldn't want to use an entity because then you're adding another entity to the world and you're relying on it performing. And you know what? Again, like, we're literally building this to avoid the quirkiness of how minecarts are on rails. So I'm not going to do that. But thanks for the suggestion, Fegley. An etho hopper clock with the observer watching the redstone block being pushed back and forth. Oh, I guess, yeah, you could do it like that. And maybe we could mess around with this for the sake of, like, learning a little bit more. So, like, you're gonna press a button and then set off this this clock. Got that. I'll give it a try. We'll see if we can make it. And instead of trying to be Mr. all compact and everything's neatly together, just get it built. Just get it built. So we'll put in some items in here. And then put this thing over here, that thing over there, bit of redstone dust, right? Then we want this observer. The observer needs to be 2 ticks. Which immediately makes the placement of this kind of annoying. Again, can't think compact. There's just going to be like mess everywhere. Okay. And we need that because we're going to use a powered signal, I guess. It's going to come over here. So that looks kind of promising. Now it's when it ends up here, the thing is over and we no longer need it to be active. So like maybe that's the way we can say when you get over. Oh, it just did. No wait, it never left. It never left. So when it leaves, when we power it and say like 1 by 1, these are getting sent off. So we'll have a signal point into there. We also... Actually, no, we don't even need to then... Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So we don't even need to tell it. Because that turns off that, and the clock is always running. So the fact that the clock is always running is not something that I had initially considered. And then the next one goes. And then it doesn't. And I do now wonder, can we make the circuit a little more efficient by picking and choosing which hoppers are locked? That might be a bit odd at the beginning. It looks like you can. Yeah. So then it will come... That's the other thing. Now it's got like a really slow cooldown time. So there's only like certain hoppers that we actually need to power. But anyway, like it'll eventually come back around here and it'll stop. But we don't want that piece of redstone here and we don't want it there. And I think the difference would be that it would just power this one for a brief moment if I were to remove this bit of redstone. I'm not sure if I like that or not. So maybe the position of the dropper could change. I mean, we can make things slightly less optimal. Have it here. And add in like extra hoppers. Right, so now we've got them there. Now we don't want them powering these ones. What's the best way to only have them power those? Use top slab. Yes, I was not thinking about the block type. I was thinking about it would be bub powered. So now we're talking this. Oops. That actually might help with the placement of the dropper too, right? Although the dropper might end up being like quasi-powered, but that might enable us to do that after all. Soon find out, because I'm pretty sure it'll quasi-power it. Oh, it doesn't power down. Then again, let me do that. Ah! Glass! Does glass let it go downwards? Some blocks do and some blocks don't. So like, does glass let it go down because it's got a full side? Or is it glowstone? Glowstone lets it go down? I'm sure one of them lets it come down, right? Or is it that it blocks? Maybe the difference is upwards, so it's like that can send the signal upwards, but maybe the slab can't. I thought one of them let you send them down. I must be mistaken. Right, our thing is there. It's quasi-powered. But again, could just remove this and do it different. Some of those are going to end up in those hoppers, aren't they? You can see it's getting like ugly, but oh, I tell you what, we can at least make it look a little cleaner by putting it like this. So yeah, that's sort of doing the same thing. And then you can probably shimmy this thing around so like the observer is like here or closer by. Or probably the better place to put it would be to you need like one block of space, right? But then your observer can face upwards and go onto a block that has the torch. That needs to be set to... Actually, it doesn't, but you might as well leave it on 2 ticks. So then our redstone block is here. And our sticky pistons can be, let's say, there. And the next one is here. I've got so much junk in this. Junk in the trunk. Megados, thank you ever so much for 8 months of support. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I've been stood up this whole time. Okay, so that and that. And we had set it to like 16, I think. Oh, where did it go? Let's get them running. So now that's doing its job. Right, and this thing locks, which... It's kind of like one block too close. No, that would lock it, wouldn't it? And that would actually lock this, interestingly. Now, what did we have before? I think we locked it at this phase here. Now we've just locked it at the clock level. Now, because the item comes back to this space, it doesn't actually really matter if this thing pulses after or before or not. So let's get rid of all of that because it's no longer relevant. And now we just power this. Right, that was... So that's quasi-powering the dropper, I believe. Which is super annoying. So we want this thing... Due to the nature of how we get the signal, we can't leave it in an off state before we start it. but we can. Black just says it's better to lock the clock so it always starts off at the appropriate time rather than at any point in the cycle. Yeah, then it will have a consistent performance, right? Even if that's not required, that's what it will be. So what we can do is attach the input to something here. So let's say we got a button and then it's just going to... I don't think that really messes with anything. Let's go grab our button. We might find that it's not quick enough to make a difference. So what we can do is move the input to like here, perhaps. Have a delay. And it works. Except it just shot straight off down there. In order to test this then, let's have less items in the system. Did we achieve our redstone goal today? I think we did. We haven't really tested this, but in theory it's reliable and I can do this either way. I'm probably not going to do this on the server because it used a lot of hoppers, but it's a nice experiment to have a redstone challenge. And now I feel like I missed something. It back powers, that's what it does, so you need that. Because now it's getting stuck. But also, is this actually working? Oh! I'm a Wally, so I missed something rather important here. Okay. So we still need to affect... Okay, I can see how to modify this slightly. We put that on that side. It needs its 2-tick there. And our input is probably good enough. Although, why did that... Okay, so it's back... It's coming back through, which is not particularly a problem. But just in case there's some sort of quasi-funkiness going on, we'll add that. Right, and then the last thing really is just to do that. Okay, so now that's properly set up, where I made a bit of a mistake. We took out the soul lantern, so we'll put it back in. And we had it so that this thing was locked, right? Ah, there you go. So that's in there, that's locked. Now the first thing it will do is move an item over. So let's go ahead and power it. And that creates a pulse immediately. Except nothing here... Okay, so I think I understand what's going on. We probably need that for the timing. So that... First one blinks, second one goes. So... That means that we... I think we want the observer to not power straight away. And the way that it's locked means that it does. Slightly unfortunate, right? There might be a sneaky way or two to get away with that. Also, this thing is locked up again, has it not? Why is it locked up? What would cause that to happen? It should not be locking up. Are we experiencing some sort of... Yeah, we've got a block update issue, so that is quasi-powering again. Always with the quasi-power, right? Here's an alternative. Maybe not an alternative. Challenges are everywhere. So if that went this way to power all of this, now assuming that that redstone torch isn't causing a problem for what's down below, we can power both sides still. Then we need it's getting messy and ugly. It's getting messy and ugly. You don't need a repeater coming out of the torch. That's true, but it doesn't change the issue. The issue is that something was bad powering that, but also like when we set this chain of events off, it like immediately fires, which we don't want. I'm gonna try something a little different. And it also means I'd have to move the entire hopper clock. So let's use the axe. So like down here, up there. Let's give it a shift. Popped the torch off. It makes sense actually, because it wasn't part of the selection. So what if that was actually here? Might it give us just enough time to like get away with things, is what I'm thinking. So we need a redstone torch in front of us. Don't need those. I'll tell you what, if we were trying to avoid any quasi-connectivity, we can do that, which will back power, but that's not really an issue. So we need the item that we send to go into there, and we've got to hope that the timing is good enough. Interestingly, we might be able to... Now we don't really have the proper space, but that might also lock the first hopper. So it might move it into the locked hopper first. Did I have an item in there? I don't think I did. Right, so I think it just locked back into position. There you go, 8 items. So now we press this. It locks it, and then it goes round, and then the pulsing should continue. Come on. Why is the pulsing not continuing? I'm not locking it here. It's a block update thing again, right? Like, that's... It's this one here. Okay, so that's like the last thing to fix, I believe, is that we have to get this higher up. Now, why would it jump back and forth like it just did? I mean, is that messing with it somehow? Right, it just reset, by the way. So, no items here, items there, but we're powering that. That's maybe it. Maybe it's the very first bit. No, that. Now I don't understand why it's doing that. There's no back powering. Why? What's that about? I'm not seeing something, right? Like, that still connects to that. There's no quasi-powering going on. So why do you freak out? I don't understand. Maybe it's something like World Edit, like freaked out one of these comparators, or the hoppers made them behave funny. What am I missing? The block with a torch on it is quasi-powering the piston. From up here it can't do it. It's too far away, right? That, like, quasi-power would be this block. And then that block. But not this one. I mean, obviously something's freaking it out. Oh! Did it just start working? I don't know what I changed, but I think it just started working. And then it's at the one at the end. And then it's ready to go. Isn't that satisfying when it's finished? Now, here's my homework for all of you. Okay, all you redstoners out there. Have a go at compacting this. Not this bit over here, but this bit back here. I think if you were to compact this, you would need to repackage a lot of stuff. I think if you take what's here, you can probably trim a few blocks, make it a little smarter. But have a think about how this whole concept works. Maybe there's some other smart ideas here, because look at what it does. Turns it on, off goes that minecart. Turns on the next one, off goes the minecart. We can control how long that delay is as well, so we can make it longer than this. And I really like that we have done a little redstone challenge here. That was good fun. We should do this more often. We should come up with little challenges and projects. I was thinking about how I can make something like a water bucket filler out of empty buckets. Probably did one of those a long time ago when they first added that. But like little redstone contraptions just for the sake of it could be like a lot of fun, I think. You know? And peeps, you didn't get to see those new animations, but tomorrow we'll be in survival mode, and I think they're more fitted for for the animations. So hopefully we'll see those tomorrow. I'll be streaming in the evening tomorrow, as tomorrow's just going to be like a regular workout day for me. Not taking the Sunday off, so I'll stream in the evening. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for coming by today. Thanks to all the peeps who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thank you to my mods. Thanks to the patrons. Thanks for all the gifted subs. Be sure to hit the follow button and stick around if you would like to be a part of a raid. I will go look for a channel in the Minecraft community to raid. We're going to go for a small channel. Sub 50. In fact, let's go all the way down. Let's find... Right, when you go really far down, it can sometimes be hard to find English channels. But I got one, so I'm going to send you to Leah Huntress. No idea where I'm sending you. We're just supporting a random channel in the community. Okay, here we go. I'm setting it up. And it's being sent off. Cool. Alright, that's it from me. You can hit the